and welcome to America Reads Fun Learning Activities. My name is Cam, and I am a college student who absolutely loves learning. I create activities for kids like you, who like to build up their brain power while having fun. Here at America Reads, we focus on creating exciting activities related to reading, writing, and math. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm really excited that you're here, because today, we're going to be talking about some pretty interesting stuff. Today, we will work on understanding division as unknown factor problems. We will examine the important relationship between division and multiplication. Do you think you're up for the challenge? Awesome. Let's go! Today, we are going to be taking a look at two important operations, multiplication and division. To do so, let's take a moment to remember our four primary operations in math: addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. Did you know that multiplication and division are related? Multiplication and division are inverse operations. For reference, an inverse operation is an operation that counters or reverses the effect of another operation. Similarly, addition and subtraction are inverse operations. To illustrate what I'm talking about, I baked a batch of chocolate chip cookies. We are going to count the number of treats that I have. Let's take a moment to think about this. I started with 0 treats, and then I baked a batch 12 cookies. So how many cookies do I have? 12. Perfect. 0, my starting point, plus 12, the number of cookies I baked, equates to a total of 12 treats. So, by adding 12 to 0, I got a total of 12. Now, what happens if my friends and I end up eating the 12 cookies? If I have a total of 12 cookies, and 12 of those cookies are eaten, how many will I have left? Oop, there they go. The answer is 0. If I have 12 cookies, and 12 of those cookies are eaten, then I would have 0 cookies. 12 minus 12 equals 0. By subtracting the number I added in the first place, I ended up right back where I started. Here is a number line to display what I mean. This illustrates that addition and subtraction are inverse operations, that they cancel each other out. If I add 12 cookies or bake 12 cookies, I have 12. But if 12 of those cookies are eaten, I go right back to 0. Multiplication and division are inverse operations. Now remember, division involves splitting a whole into equal groups or parts. Meanwhile, multiplication involves adding equal groups. Division is the opposite of multiplying. Here's example 1. We know that 4 times 3 equals 12, that 4 groups of 3 make 12. We also know that 12 divided by 4 equals 3. If 12 apples, the ones shown on the screen, are divided into 4 equal groups, how many apples will be in each group? 3. We end up having 4 groups of 3 apples. Alrighty, now on to example 2. I have 3 groups of 6 crayons. Group 1 is made up of 6 blue crayons, Group 2 is made up of 6 green crayons, and Group 3 is made up of 6 yellow crayons.
To figure out what 6 times 3 is, tell me how many crayons I have in total. Awesome job! If I have 3 groups of 6 crayons, I have a total of 18 crayons. In other words, 3 times 6 equals 18. Now, we know that I have a total of 18 crayons. If I asked you to divide my crayons into 6 equal groups, how many crayons would be in each group? Remember that there has to be the same number of crayons in each group. Fantastic! If I had 6 equal groups, there would be 3 crayons in each group. Are you ready for a couple more questions? On to example 3. Alrighty, can you tell me what 5 times 4 is? $20. 5 times 4 is 20. In other words, if we have 5 groups of 4 dragonflies, like the one shown on the screen, we would have 20 dragonflies in total. Now, what if I asked you to tell me what 20 divided by 5 is? What would you say? If 20 dragonflies were divided into 5 equal groups, how many dragonflies would be in each group? That's right. Do you see that connection? These problems show us that multiplication and division are inverse operations. Alrighty, on to the next question. Can you tell me what 10 times 2 is? How much is 2 groups of 10? 20. Great job! Now, what is 20 divided by 2? What number goes into 20 exactly twice? 10. Great! Alrighty, now, these next couple questions are going to require some independent thinking. I'm going to put the next 2 questions on the screen for you to answer on your own. Can you find 25 divided by 5? Do so by finding the number that makes 25 when multiplied by 5. If you need help envisioning this problem, imagine that you have 25 pieces of candy that you want to share with 5 friends. As a math problem, this would be written as 25 divided by 5 because we are trying to divide the pieces of candy among 5 people. The number that gives us 25 when multiplied by 5 is 5. In other words, 5 times 5 equals 25. Since multiplication and division are inverse operations, we also know that 25 divided by 5 equals 5. Great job! Here's that second question. Can you find what 42 divided by 7 is? Do so by determining what times 7 equals 42. The answer would be 6. 6 times 7 equals 42. 42 divided by 7 equals 6. Now, before we wrap up for the day, I'd like you to come up with your own division problem and an associated multiplication problem. If you need some inspiration, feel free to look back at some of the previous examples highlighted during this presentation. I look forward to seeing what you come up with. You are welcome to pause the video to work on this activity.
While I wish I could keep learning with you all day, it's time to say see you later. That said, thank you so much for learning with me today. I had so much fun. I hope you come back to learn with me again sometime soon. Please comment if you have any questions, and feel free to like or subscribe. Better yet, go ahead and do both. We will be back with new and exciting videos shortly. In the meantime, stay safe and keep on learning.